False Start, a college football podcast for everyone and everyone else. I'm your host, John Bueller, lead writer at fansided.com. I'm joined today by a man whose eminence front is not a put on, who finds traffic by intuition and sense of smell. Cody Williams, content director at fansided.com. He's a college football wizard. There has to be a twist. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Just got done playing some pinball, so we're having a good time out here, man. I'm ready to rock.
Did you ride a scooter to and from the pinball arcade?
Oh, of course, yeah. The only way I know how. It's actually it's collapsible, and I have the shoulder strap and everything. We're ready to rock.
Yeah, we were gonna do some JLN today for May 15th on the 5:15. So crazy ass happens on that train down to Brighton, apparently.
Yeah, that's right.
And with 5:15, let's go with our first and 15 today, which is always B. Cruton. Apparently, everybody under the sun reacted accordingly to five-star offensive tackle Jackson Cantwell getting the bag from Miami. He picked Miami over Ohio State, Oregon, and Georgia, and everyone's just like, WTF, bro.
I mean, when you have the chance to make a couple more $1 million because Miami's desperate, you got to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It seemed as though like we all thought he was basically going to follow Jared Curtis wherever he went, whether that would be Georgia or Oregon. I guess Ohio State was in the mix too. Again, Cantwell is from I believe Nixa, Missouri or Mississippi, one of those two. He's from over there.
I think it's Missouri, but I'm not. Don't
Yeah.
hold me to that.
So yeah, yeah, it was not a good day on Twitter for that man or for those three fan bases who didn't get him. I'll just leave it at that.
No, it was not. A lot of meltdowns. A great day for the message board genius social accounts. We love to see that. We love a good day for those fellows over there. But I mean, it's one of those things where in the transfer portal era, I almost don't care at this point because like if someone wants to like overspend on a five-star recruit, sure, let him do that. Because if he comes to Miami next year, plays well as a starter for the entire season, plays well and looks good, someone can come in and offer him more money. So like, does it actually matter all that much? Like, if I was talking to Georgia, Ohio State, and Oregon fans, that'd be the first thing I say to them because like, there's a good chance in 2027 you still have a shot at him.
Phil Knight, Les Wexner, and whoever the boosters for Georgia just go make it happen. Make it happen, please.
Just trying to make it happen, man.
Oh man. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. And I think the other thing is like I go back to a moment pre-NIL with trying to think of the word is Trenton Thompson saw Roquan Smith
Mm.
commit to UCLA and he's at like Montezuma, Georgia. Trent Thompson's at Albany. He's like, oh hell no. He just gets in the car and just drives, tries to get him to convince. Jeff Ulbrich wreaking havoc on the state of Georgia once again.
Jeff Ulbricht's the demon that Georgia never knew it needed, truly.
My name is Jeff. You can call me Beelzebub.
And this is my son Damien.
Uh,
He likes to prank folk off us.
he goes by Jax. Jamie Damon's too hard to spell.
That's right.
But yeah, obviously, you get life-changing money here. Who knows what anybody's upbringing is, even if you're what, Arch Manning and you're set for life before you came out of the womb, like
Yeah.
you got to take the money, man. I mean, like, because you can get hurt. I mean, this guy may not amount to anything in college football or the NFL. You just like, that's what somebody's going to pay you. Therefore, that's your market value. Whether or not that's inflated or not, that's entirely up to the buyer, so to speak. God, this sport's become so transactional.
It really has. I mean, it's becoming more and more like a pro sports league by the day. But you're right though. Like you've got to protect yourself at a certain point. Like, a couple weeks ago we were talking about guys whose, careers ended prematurely and like several of those were before the NIL era. Like you talk about Lattimore at South Carolina, like I bet he could have gotten a bag somewhere before, his career was unfortunately cut short essentially. Like he tried to make it in the NFL, obviously was not the same player anymore. So like I don't fault these kids for taking the biggest bag. Like you said, doesn't matter where you come from. Like at a certain point, you're trying to protect yourself because like yes, Arch Manning has generational wealth. There's not a lot of these kids that have generational wealth. Even if they're well off, they don't like generational wealth is a different thing.
Speaking of an offensive lineman who didn't protect himself because he came along before NIL, that'd be like Cade Mays' dad getting his finger chopped off by a folding chair,
That's true.
having to go back to Tennessee. That poor kid, like I don't even know if it's a poor kid, but like he was the last one's like, no, you cannot transfer back to Tennessee. And everyone's like, the hell I can.
Watch me. Watch me, MFer. I'll do it.
Lawsuits are great, man. I mean, they get people paid who are dealing with a lot of pain, and yeah, I don't know if it's healthcare fraud or whatnot, but yeah, that's it's happening.
I gotta tell you, whenever I hear I don't even know Cade Mays' dad's name, but whenever I hear that story, I just imagine, like, like the memes of like church kids, like trying to impress the church girls, like, by carrying so many folding chairs. And I just imagine that's what he was trying to do when he chopped his finger off. He's like,
Try,
look at me carry these 18 chairs, and then one of the fingers just goes flying.
I gotta drive this to the ditch here. I've got a church story when I got in trouble when I was a little kid.
We got it. I mean, gotta hear it now.
Okay, I haven't like really gone to church since I was like 10 years old. I used to go when I was like little, so
Yeah.
my sister and I would learn who Jesus was. That was really the whole premise of that. So we were playing in like the kids' playroom. I must have been like 5 or 6 or whatever. And there was like the second story of like a 3-story building or whatever. There's like
Mhm.
a screen. I just pushed the screen out the door because I wanted to jump out, get away from this place. Needless to say, we had to go home in about 10 minutes away because I was bad.
That's incredible. I love it. That's so good.
Yeah, I was a very confident little boy. Didn't really matter what my thoughts were. It's the same sort of thing where like I ripped the red ribbons off the red ribbon tree because Darren the Lion told me not to.
Just don't even mention it. No, it'll be fine. But if you mention it, I'm gonna do the opposite of what you say. That's really what it boils down to.
Don't do drugs, kids. So, excuse me.
You good.
It's fine. We're a little banged up today. We're at Big Bear's house. Cody's on some PTO. We're thriving. The schedule happened. Everybody hates their schedule. That's basically what's going on in the NFL right now.
Yeah, every team thinks they're going 1-16. Like that's what NFL schedule release day does for you.
I will say that the back 2/3 of the Falcons schedule is so easy. The first 4 games, once again, are so difficult.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I think the only time, like, here's the thing. There's a lot of much improved, or there are a lot of much improved NFL teams this year. Like, it's hard to identify like the truly like terrible NFL teams, like top to bottom. Like, I think the Colts are probably going to be pretty bad just because like your quarterback options are Anthony Richardson and Daniel Jones. Don't feel real great about that. The Saints are probably going to be real bad, but like outside of a couple of teams, like it's really hard to identify like the true like outliers. So like you look at these schedules and it's like, okay, yeah, looking at you as a Falcons fan, like the Panthers game looks a lot hell of a
Yeah.
lot different than it did last year. That's for sure. Like that
Yeah.
looks like a game that's a coin flip game at this point. And so like you have all these like you have so many improved teams in the NFL that all these schedules look hard. Teams are still going to be bad. It's still going to look the same as it always does in the NFL. Like that's just kind of the word. Like I don't get over like I don't get overreacting to schedule release date. First of all, we've known what these games are going to be since the end of January or since the beginning of January. Excuse me. Like we've known who the opponents are going to be the entire time. It's just about where they are in the schedule.
Yeah, it doesn't really do much for me, but like it does much for some other people. Really outside of like the Saints, I mean, who else is going to be terrible? I mean, look at your division. Like you got 2 teams who made the playoffs last year, and the Eagles and the Commanders. Kind of expect them to be the same. Y'all will probably be improved, and at least New York will have a defense. I don't think they have a head coach. What a yeah,
I mean,
Brian Daboll's not making it through the year.
you want to talk about brutal stretches? The Giants have one to open the season as well. I think they get the Cowboys, Commanders, Chiefs, and then some other team that's probably a playoff team in their first 4 weeks. And I'm like, brother, you go 0-4, Daboll's got to be out of there. Like you just got to get him the hell out of there at that point.
Just get the whole team, just rebrand it. They're not the Giants anymore. They're the little Giants. Just
That's right.
earn it back. But
Give Rick Moranis a call.
I mean, he could be the Cowboys. I mean, that's
That's right.
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing now. He's probably just doing stuff. But anyway, I guess Jackson Campbell, we're both kind of of the belief, like, yes, he's at Miami for now.
Yeah, for now. I mean, my one thing we do know about Miami is if they want to keep him, they're also not afraid to pony up. So maybe he doesn't leave, but like, congrats to Mario for a big win. But the new reality of college football is you're gonna have to recruit him again in a year, like truly.
It's always be prudent because at some point you're going to be asking yourself this and you're going to say this statement. That's my quarterback. Yes, Carson Beck is 100% cleared and ready to rock for Miami. He did not participate in spring practice. He obviously had to have surgery or heal his messed up UCL.
Hmm.
He's clear to go with the summer plan, hasn't thrown to any of his receivers. So Mario Cristobal says he's good, so I'll take him at his word for it. How you feeling about the Hurricanes with this news?
I got to be honest, Bueller. I saw this news and I put on my tinfoil hat a little bit. Um, I wonder when he was actually cleared and how much they just wanted him to show in the spring because maybe he's not the same. Like I know I feel like I'm pushing this narrative and like it's truly just a worry that I have because like you're investing a lot of money in Carson Beck to try and like maintain or build upon what you started last season when you were a college football playoff contender. Obviously fell short. But like I'm looking at this and I'm like, it's pretty opportune timing that like a week and a half after, spring games come to a conclusion, now you're fully cleared. When there aren't any cameras and you can go to your summer workouts. Like, I don't know, like it raises my alarms just a little bit.
It's like that Winky Witch in that show we didn't watch.
Hey, dude, I'm not kidding.
Oh,
That's actually a really good show. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
okay, that's fine. I've watched enough Marvel on the plane from people like I just don't want to do it anymore.
I
Just
mean,
also they
it's the most
smell.
unmarvelly show I think I've ever seen because like I would say 85% of it just feels like witchy, like creepy stuff, which that's why we watched it because that's the NC State podcast vibe, so we're here for it.
I respect that. We're watching English Traders again. That's what we're
Hell
doing.
yeah. Hell yeah.
They're all named like Tom with extra H's in it. It's really great. Eating crisp on
The
the train.
the H is just always in a different place. Some it's HTOM, THOM, baby.
Tom. Um, but when we did our on Monday's show where we ranked like where we would have the teams getting into the playoff with the 16 team format, I had Miami in as the second AQ for the ACC. You had SMU. I think I came across something for ESPN, like their odds for like who's going to win the ACC. Like Clemson's the favorite, but then it's like the same four teams, whether that would be Louisville, Miami, Georgia Tech, and SMU are like right there. And then it's your boys, which is, because it's like, why
That's
not?
just if you want to piss away some money, just click that button, baby.
And the Stanford Cardinal will nowhere to be found.
Odds not listed. They're not even trying to get you to spend money on
Okay.
that.
So I'm putting your tinfoil hat on my slightly wet hair, and we're getting shocked, man. We're getting shocked.
That's right. It wakes you up in the morning.
Tinfoil hats, Taco Bell, you got to shock the pool every once in a while.
That's right.
The Taco Bell slander at work is unacceptable.
Look, someone's catching hands if this continues. That's just all I gotta say about it.
I
That like
mean,
legitimately there was Taco Bell slander and all it made me want was Taco Bell. Like I went and got Taco Bell that night.
yeah, I know. I just want the potatoes tacos and the chicken tacos and the chicken quesadilla, and they also make a crunch wrap, like off and off brand crunch wrap at a coffee shop near where I live. So that's really cool.
That slaps. That slaps. One thing I haven't had in a while that I need to go back and get. I don't know if you ever had the Taco Bell breakfast, but God, it's good, man. The breakfast crunch wrap with sausage and egg in it, man, it's fire.
Yeah, that's what it's like, a breakfast crunch wrap. It's so good.
Oh God, yeah, yeah. Like truly the like you would think Taco Bell breakfast would be disgusting, but do not get the Cinnabon coffee though. It's just like a sugar bomb. Like I swear to God, there's not an ounce of coffee in that at all.
Yeah, we'll get you back to Atlanta and go to Perk just for that.
That's right.
Also, they closed the original Taco Mac, which is a little sad.
That's tough. That's tough on the
I
soul.
saw them going out of there with jars of like red cider vinegar and mustard into a dumpster. I'm like, yeah, That's how my day is going. But I don't know. Maybe that's how Carson Beck's time in Miami's going.
It might be, but no, like trying to like if I take off the tinfoil hat, like if Carson Beck is fully ready to go and he's going to be able to get here, like the one concern is, like you mentioned, the lack of familiarity with his receivers. But you still have time to develop that. It's not like he's going up to week one without having thrown to them. Like he will have thrown to them by the time we get to that point. This is a talented Miami roster. And I think that it's hard for, like, at least for you and I, it's hard for you and I to talk about Miami without baking in like our feelings about Mario Cristobal in there. Like I can look at this Miami roster and be like, yeah, they're probably the closest thing talent wise to challenging Clemson this year. At the same time, I look at that and I'm like, yeah, but you're going to lose at least one game that you shouldn't just on Mario principles alone, perhaps two. And like the other thing is like, yes, I like the hires they made on the defensive side of the ball, but at the same time, like that defense was a problem. Like it was, they were ACC LSU last year. That's really what it boils down to. So like, there are questions I still have about this team, but like if Beck is actually healthy, like yeah, you're going to look smarter than I am because they would be the second like most qualified team to be in the college football playoff from the ACC.
Yeah, that's why I had them potentially getting in. The talent is not that far away from what Clemson has, whereas SMU has experience. We think Georgia Tech has the coaching, and Louisville's got it's Miller time.
They've got Jeff Brom and Miller Moore.
I saw this like in preparation for this show. Somebody said that like on the X had like I need to get a 39.5 on my final to pass the class. Here's what I'm gonna do. It takes a screenshot of like Madden or college football says QB Neal, and some of the comments is like Mario couldn't do that.
No, God, no, absolutely not. No, you taking a knee, not in the vocabulary.
Oh yeah, we're from a certain generation with our TI-82 calculators, figuring out what we need to get in our final in high school.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. No, and yeah, and figuring out math equations to get your calculator to write boobs. That's our generation. We're better for it.
We are. I've got something I to share off air about the generation after us at Dark Horse, and we'll see what that. It's
Oh
not
God.
good.
Oh God. We're cooked. We're cooked, brother.
Middle level Dark Horse. That's the real bad part.
Oh no. Oh no.
So we're full heading it here a little bit. The show's off the rails anyway. I think we're both just so cooked like Mario's
We're just
brain.
we're
We're,
vibing today,
we're
baby.
vibing, dude. It's fine. I haven't had any coffee yet. I'm at Boo Bears. So you seem like you're a little more down on like Beck. You think he's not going to be the same player, or am I reading into that a little bit?
No, I don't want to like rule him out. Like I'm not at that point yet. Like I'm not like he's washed. He's never going to be a good quarterback again. I just worry about something like an elbow injury because like we just watched Brock Purdy, who, I'm highly critical of, but to be fair, he started his career playing very well. He was not the same quarterback last year coming off of the elbow injury. And like I worry about elbow and shoulder injuries more than I would anything else for a quarterback. Like it's not just like, okay, maybe his power comes back, but like when something gets changed like dramatically in there, whether it's your elbow or shoulder, like you're gonna throw the ball differently. You're gonna have to adjust mechanics and things like that. You're gonna have to compensate in different ways. So like it's always going to worry me when it's something like that, especially when we saw like Beck running out onto the field with his arm just dangling like a loose appendage. Like that's a really hard image to get out of your head, man.
It'd be like that. See, I hurt my elbow playing baseball in high school, and I can't really throw a ball anymore. I took a bunch of Tylenol and Advil so I could pitch my final season. There wasn't the right call, but I did do it, and
Right.
maybe that's what it's going to be for Beck. Also, it does kind of get in your head with like throwing.
Yeah.
Like people deal with the yips there more than anything else. People have a hard time throwing the ball back to the pitcher from catcher. Sometimes people have a hard time throwing it from second base to first. Shout out Chuck Knobloch.
Shouts Chuck Knobloch. The funniest inclusion on the Mitchell Report is forever Chuck Knobloch to me. Like it's just the funniest thing in the world to me.
You ever seen a Major League Three Back to the Minors when it's like the
Oh,
Utah Buzz?
brother. I own it on DVD. Have I ever seen
The catcher like tries to back the pitcher and just throws it over the fence.
Yes. Shouts to Walton Goggins in Major League Three
He
too.
is he's the power hitter, isn't he?
First, yeah, downtown Anderson. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm deep in the Major League Three lore.
And I wonder if Walton Goggins gets his hair advice from Mel Kiper Jr. Yes, we're gonna have another slice of pumpkin pie here. Very Miami-centric show. Apparently, Mel Kiper Jr. did not talk to Mario Cristobal or Shannon Dawson about Cam Ward. Maybe that kind of influenced his whole like reason of having Shore Sanders number one. But maybe Mario blocked him. Maybe Mario thought Mel Kiper Jr. was written as IRS. I don't know.
You can't rule it out. He does look like the tax man coming to collect, man. So, I did see Kuiper. I don't know if you saw this, but Kuiper did issue a rebuttal on the X, and he said basically like, yeah, I didn't talk to Dion or Shador either. Like basically like this wasn't like him like highlighting Cam Ward or anything, but like it is weird. Like you probably should have talked to both of them. You're Mel Kiper Jr. You're gonna be on the draft show for 3 days and like what 12 hours worth of content. Like yeah, you should probably talk to these dudes that you're gonna like piss and moan about the entire time.
I always talk about Mel Kiper Jr. First off, Ben Schwartz has to play in the biopic.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That might be his son.
Hold on. I don't want to derail you too hard. Speaking of biopics, have you seen the Nick Cage John Madden
Yeah.
biopic? Oh my God.
Yeah, Christian Bale is going to play Al Davis.
What is happening? I like I got that got sent to me by like three separate people and yesterday morning and like in addition to seeing it on Twitter and I was just like I how did I not know that this was happening? And also why is this happening? What like we are
Uh,
truly living in a simulation.
yes, 100%. Stall for a second. I'm going to say who plays Fred Blitnikoff and Ken Stabler if they are in this movie.
Oh God, we need to see it. But like, I will say, Nick Cage pulls off the young Madden better than I thought, and also Christian Bale does pull off the Al Davis better than I thought. But like, I just don't know where this movie's headed, and I apologize for derailing this, but like, it's just living in my brain rent free because I truly had no idea that they were even making a Madden biopic. And then to just wake up one morning and see Nick Cage looking like John Madden is like a pretty substantial shock to the system.
I'm okay with it. John Mulaney's in it. He plays Trip Hawkins, okay, who created EA Sports.
Oh, nice. It's in the game.
Sienna Miller is going to play Carol Davis, which is
I thought you were gonna say Ken Stabler.
no, she plays Carol Davis, which is his wife and Mark Davis's mom. And Virginia Madden is played by Catherine Hahn, but when you wish.
Hell yeah, it's all full circle.
I think the guy who needs to play Fred Blitnikoff is just Chris Elliott. Just to put him out there.
Hell yeah.
And I'll just play Ken Stabler. Why not?
There we go.
No, Ken Stabler. Put Leo in there, dude.
Oh my God, yes, absolutely.
That era of Raiders football is unbelievable. They shot apparently they started principal photography here in Atlanta about like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, nice, nice. I honestly like one of the things that I was thinking when I saw it though. I kind of wish it was like an HBO series, like they did with Winning Time and stuff like that. Like just like getting real deep into how ridiculous Raiders that era of Raiders football was. Just because like I feel like there's a lot more we could unpack than we're gonna get in a 2 hour movie.
I can't wait to see Nick Cage screaming on a plane on the tarmac in Hartsfield.
Give him the Oscar right now. I'm calling it.
Boom.
Boom.
I wonder if we're gonna see them in and around like Atlanta throughout the week. Just Nick Cage and Christian Bale just having oysters at Beetle Cat. Why not? Owen
Oh,
Wilson goes there.
I feel like Nick Cage is probably a Vortex guy.
Oh yeah, very much a Vortex guy. Christian Bale. I don't know. He probably doesn't leave his room. He's really got into the character. He's at McDonald's. He's really getting into the Al Davis character. The problem is we don't have Safeway, so I guess he's at Murder Kroger. I'll go see him there.
He's at Murder Kroger. I feel like Christian Bale is also the type of guy who's just weird enough to like do something like go into the varsity like twice a day or something like that. Like, look, the varsity's fine, but it's incredibly overrated. I think anyone from Atlanta knows that.
We're doing hot dog summer. We'll find out there. So we'll go. Christian Bale's going to the varsity as soon as it opens.
The first time I ever went to the varsity, it was before I was living in Atlanta. I was probably like 16 or something like that, and I got hit with the "What do you have?" And I thought it was just someone being hella rude to me, and I was like, "Whoa, slow your roll. Let's show some manners. I'm Chick-fil-A's right down the road, kings of manners."
It is our pleasure to serve you. What do you have? One of my favorite memories at the varsity. I'm at the one in Atlanta. I think I'm going with my dad to a Thrashers game back in the
Oh
day,
hell yeah!
and we're sitting there, and but Georgia, it's clean old fashioned hate, and it's the game where Reggie Ball throws it out of bounds on fourth down to lose,
Hell yeah!
and everyone's just so upset. My dad is laughing, and he's like, "That was great."
Best thing I've ever seen.
And best thing I've ever seen was a slice of pumpkin pie that Mel Kiper Jr. is eating and anything like that. So he's like, yeah, I didn't talk to anybody. I did talk to Jackson Dart. I don't even know if that's true or not.
No, I mean probably just lying at this point to save a little face, if we're being honest.
That's fair, but I did write something that for fanside.com about Shador and Cam Ward, and Titans fans are not happy with me. Again, I don't think I don't think it's going to work out just because
Yeah.
I don't think he has the personality or the traits to overcome the dysfunction in Nashville. He has a good head coach, offensive mind, in Brian Callahan. Mike Bergonzi doesn't know how to lie to people. He's not a cool liar.
He's not a cool liar at all.
And then the amount of Scott Rogan says like the amount of articles I've written for you saying like Amy Adams Strunk doesn't know what she's doing.
She has no idea. She barely knows where Nashville is at this point.
I thought we were in Houston.
Yeah, yeah. You shout, go Oilers. Like that's what she's shouting in the sidelines. But no, like I'm still higher on Cam Ward than you are, but like not by a lot. But I think the bigger story out of this is just Mel Kiper. Like truly, like, and honestly, I don't want to. I think ESPN still does some good things. Like the PGA Championship is on right now, and like ESPN's golf coverage with SVP is still top notch. Like they do a really good job whenever they do get the golf coverage. But at the same time, like their draft coverage has slipped so much over the years. Like their writers for the draft, I still think are quality. Like Jordan Reed, I know he's not your favorite, but like Ben Solak, I think is a good draft guy. And when you start talking, but like when you talk about the on TV product and then you compare it to something like NFL Network, like who in their right mind is choosing to listen to Mel Kiper Jr. over Daniel Jeremiah? Like truly, like that. Those are two very like. There's a very big difference in palatability there.
I mean, it's been downhill since the everything tragedy porn one with Trey Wago. He's like, did you know that this guy's dad died and his mom ate his dad? And he's like, this isn't a Russian winter. This is just a guy who played defensive back for Missouri for 3 years. Like, what are we talking about?
Have you ever seen Jurassic Park and you know when Newman gets eaten by that dinosaur? That happened to this kid's father.
This kid one time when he was having a 3-year-old birthday party, he got a peanut butter cake, found out he was allergic, and his puppy, they all died.
Everyone died.
Yeah, Mel Kiper Jr., I don't know how much longer he's gonna keep doing this, but I mean, like ESPN keeps putting out um, geriatric people on camera. Shout out to the legend that is LC. But yes, they just keep putting people. Dick Vitale, it's like just keep rolling out the hits. They still let Chris Berman do something occasionally, which
Yeah, he signed on through 2029. I think he just signed an extension, which will make him the first ever 50-year employee. And when I saw that, my first reaction was, why? Why is that like why are we doing that? Because like just doing the math, that's pretty old. You should probably not be on camera anymore at this point. Like to be clear, the prime of Chris Berman on ESPN is like part of our childhood. Freaking
yes.
love like Chris Berman at the home run derby is just like ingrained in everyone's brain. Back, 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 back. But like at this point, like there's a reason he's only on camera like once a week for 2 minutes.
Yeah, back in the 90s, I watched a lot of Rugrats too, and I choose not to do that. Yeah, I hate the home run derby about as much as oppressive dictatorships. I hate the home run derby. I hate it so much, mostly because of that, and
Yeah,
also ESPN's baseball coverage is awful.
that's true. It's very true.
But like, the college football coverage is pretty good. I think that they do a good job with the women's tournament and everything like that.
I like
Uh,
Buck and Aikman on Monday Night Football too. Like I think
oh yeah, that's a huge step
getting them
up.
was huge for sure.
Really do. They're really trying Jennifer with hockey. I think that's good.
Yeah.
But like they keep getting guys like Chris Berman. He signed on like first off, Chris Berman doesn't do internet or email. Can you imagine asking him to do a DocuSign?
No,
Could you?
no. Imagine him to like download like an HR app or something like that.
All he has to do is decide is to get like a new suite or whatever it is, and he won't do it. He just basically mails a pint of blood to them. It's like this is how you know it's me. It's a blood contract.
It's a blood pact. Oh, that's what they taught us at Brown.
That's what they taught us at Essex Community College too.
That's all right.
Brown, Essex Community College. I forget where Dick Vitale went. Detroit Mercy. That's where he coached. Florida State. Yeah, we're touching them all.
Just universal education out here.
Universal education out here. And to keep paying all these guys, you got to ask yourself this one question. Where's the money, Lebowski?
So
Bret Bielema is an immovable object and an unstoppable force that Illinois has extended. They've also given a 6-year contract to men's basketball coach Brad Underwood. I believe that this keeps Bielema under contract through 2030. I think his starting salary is 7.7 per year, which makes him one of the highest paid coaches in college football. Again, he's not in the 10 million a year, but given what Illinois is, that's pretty sizable. I think the fact that well, there's three things at hand here, and I'll let you unpack this however
yeah,
you feel. Number one, he's got a young family with young kids. He doesn't want to move.
correct.
Two, we know that the Iowa job is going to open up at some point. That's alma mater. This is how you make it more difficult for them to do that. That would also possibly be like, okay, Mark Stoops may be more of a likely candidate to go back to alma mater than Brett Bielema. And then three, Illinois is supposed to have a really good year, and yeah, Brett Bielema is in his bag. I almost want to put him in the slot, but I don't think he'll fit.
He's in the gap. He is the immovable object after all. So you gotta close the gap. But no, like I think you made a really good point about like my first thought was what you just mentioned with Illinois is supposed to be really good this season. And on Illinois, the university's part, AD's part, smart move to do this now because the price is probably going up in about 8 months. Like truly, like the price is going to probably like you said it's starting about like in the 7 range. Like it's probably going to be in the 8 or 9 range if you were to try to sign this extension after the fact after this year. So like you're saving yourself a little bit of money there. That's money you can still invest in the program. But also, let's be honest, like it's also smart for Illinois because like Bert is a good coach. Bert is a damn good football coach. He's been a good football coach at every stop that he's been at. And like you even look at Illinois, like, yes, there's been some ups and downs, but I feel like the floor has been raised because you have such a quality program runner in there. And like, if you're Illinois, you want to set it up like this. Like, you want to set it up to where you have those pop years. Like, that's what an Illinois program in the Big Ten is supposed to be. They're not going to be, you're never going to be Ohio State. You're never going to be Michigan. And you're probably not going to be Penn State. But you can have one year out of every 3 or 4 where you're challenging those guys. And like, that's what you want. That's what you want out of that type of program. And yeah, like, I think that, yeah, sure. I'm sure Belima, like, he absolutely values stability himself with young children wanting to not to move again. But at the same time, like, I look at this from the Illinois perspective and I think it's just good business.
Yeah, you get out ahead of it as opposed to paying what 15-20% more
Yeah,
this time next year. The potential of him getting poached becomes that much more difficult now with the money. You're like, oh, money's money, but like you bring up a good point. For as good as Illinois is right now, you're never going to be Ohio State. You're never going to be Michigan. You're never going to be Penn State or Oregon. But can you be what we think Nebraska can be? Can you be Iowa? Can you be Michigan State? Like there is a level. Can you be Washington maybe in this new league? Again, we got to see what Washington, USC, UCLA can become in the new Big Ten. But
right.
like there's an avenue where a program like Illinois can sustain. There are players in Illinois. It's the flagship school. Be proud about this. You got a head coach who I think I'm not saying Red Grange ain't walking through that door, Jeff George ain't walking through that door, but Luke Altmaier's there and he's pretty damn good.
Yeah, exactly. And then like another factor in this, like, the in-state rivalry with Northwestern in the Big Ten. Like Northwestern's in a transitionary period. Like they don't have a home football stadium right now. Like, and they're like, as dumb as it sounds, like the program is paying the consequences of that currently. Like that's not going to help you in any capacity if you don't have a home football stadium. Like imagine bringing a recruit to that, backyard that they're playing in currently and being like, yeah, can you like, how excited are you to play in front of 15,000 people at this place? Like it's not going to be a good time. So like, you have that advantage and like to secure that advantage, like that's something that could have long-term ramifications for Illinois to maintain like, you know, yes, they want to compete near the top of the Big Ten. They want to be, Michigan. I think Michigan State's a good comp. Like when you think back to the prime of like the late 2000s, 2010s, Michigan State with Martin Antonio, like I think that's what Illinois can absolutely be under Burt. And so like you look at this and like, yes, that's what you want to be, but at the same time, like one of the main things is you also just want to make sure you're always better than Northwestern, and like this definitely helps with that.
Well, two Northwestern points. So somebody comes over there who's some impressionable kids say, "Oh my God, is this where they play the backyard brawl?" No, this is the side yard tussle.
The side yard tussle, aka our home games every other Saturday, baby.
We play in a parking lot. The Bengals are like, "Let's go, man. I wish we could."
I wish the NFL would let us get away with that. That's a good way to cut costs.
100%. And Trey Henderson's not going to see a cent of that. No.
That
They're
Henderson showing up to camp and just like I just got off the golf course attire and then just like unloading on the Bengals. One of my favorite things I've ever seen. Like had no intention of doing anything but just airing it out. It was beautiful.
he's got like a PFG. He's got a bolero necktie, perfect black jeans and cowboy boots and a hat on. He's just like, I'm gonna dump on Mike Brown so hard.
Yeah, 100%. And then like telling him that, I think it started as business, but now it feels pretty personal. Oh my God almighty, bro.
I know that Cincinnati throws a big parade for opening day with the Reds because it's like, baseball is like America's first baseball team or whatever. Do you think they'll throw a parade when Mike Brown does?
Oh,
'Cause
100%. 100%. They'll take his like Scrooge McDuck pile of money that he's hoarding at this point and throw a parade with it.
I mean, we won't get fooled again by Katie Blackburn. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss.
Yeah, it's like landfill and Beer Fest.
They don't look anything alike, but they are blood. So, but I guess to go back to Northwestern with this, like, you always with Illinois, you always have to be better than Northwestern, or strive to.
Mhm.
But again, Northwestern in recent years, yes, probably more under Pat Fitzgerald, maybe even the first year with David Braun.
Yeah.
Like every 3 years, they win about 9 or 10 games.
hmm Yeah, and like you want to be better than that. Like you want to be like that's why I think raising the floor at Illinois is so important. Like it's a lot easier to get to 9 and 10 wins from 7 and 8 wins. You know what I mean? Like if your pop years are still 10 wins, like it's a lot more palatable when those off years, like at Northwestern, when you're going 3 and 9. Like that, under Believer, I just don't see that happening with the Illini.
Follow me on this. I think we've touched about this before, maybe not mentioned it here, but like Shad Khan probably wrote those checks.
Oh, 100%. There's no doubt about it.
So Illinois sports are going good, and the Jaguars, they're still them. But like,
They are still in Jacksonville, I hear.
it's the same dichotomy where like you have an NFL owner who's also the major booster of a power forward team. We deal with this all the time with the Vols and Jimmy Haslam owning the Browns. So it's
Mhm.
like when one enterprise is being distracting, it kind of allows the other one to kind of do its own thing. So like Tennessee having a great football season last year probably allowed Kevin Stefanski to keep his job, even though they probably should have. Illinois being good may allow Liam Cohen or whatever it is to do what they're doing. I don't know. I feel like when you have coaches like maybe Stephen Ross with Michigan and Miami, there,
Yeah,
there's there's a lot out there too.
I mean, could be why Sam Pittman has a job. Let's be real about it, because Jerry Jones is focused on the Cowboys. Like,
Yeah.
like, are we caring about Arkansas at this point?
Oh, oh, and then you look up, SMU having good. What the hell's going on with the Colts?
Yeah, exactly.
I think I have the best of both worlds within Cal McNair with Texas.
That's right.
Some of those are like Illinois and the Jaguars. Like, what's the overlap? Sean Khan and
And Tony Khan in the neck brace.
uh, they're we're Illini on Saturdays and Jacks on Sundays, and this is false start.
Sounds like a perfect Urban Meyer weekend, baby.
House divided.
That's right.
When I was living in Chicago, the Falcons bar was also the Texas Tech bar. I'm like, I don't think there's anybody who does both those things at the same time.
That's a combo for sure.
I don't think anybody from Texas Tech has ever played for the Falcons.
Off the top of my head, I got nothing. Like I have one of my friends' family members who lives in Atlanta. He's a Texas Tech grad and a Texas Tech guy, but I don't think he's a Falcons guy. I think he's a Cowboys fan. So like the crossover's just really not there.
Girl we dogs before got her master's at Texas Tech and is from here, so like maybe that's it.
Hell yeah.
But good for Bret Bielema here. That's all we needed to know. We're happy for him. We're pulling for him. We're very high on Illinois this year.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how we're feeling about UCLA, but let's talk Portland with our penultimate topic here. Pierce Clarkson, who's the son of Steve Clarkson, noted quarterback coach in the Southern California area. He initially played at Louisville, spent this past year at Ole Miss. He's transferring into UCLA, joining the same quarterback room that features Nico and Madden Iamaleava and holdover Luke Duncan. It's pretty crowded there in Westwood. I guess the big question I have for you is like, with Clarkson coming in, does that basically prevent Madden Iamaleava from like replacing his brother?
I prevent is probably too strong a word that I'm really willing to go right now, but it means it's not a guarantee. That's for damn sure. And like I think you look at this and like like again, I feel like I'm very tinfoil hatty this episode, but like it's just where I'm at right now. Like I'm tired. I get my conspiracies flowing. That's how I don't know. That's how the brain works sometimes. But it really does make you wonder if part of the like UCLA getting Nico at a discounted rate from what he was getting at Tennessee, as we all know at this point, like it does make you wonder if part of that deal was, well, yeah, but you got to take my brother and take care of him too. Like, it feels like Big Nick might have been pulling some strings back there to make that happen. And UCLA is playing that game with their own, own ammunition, which is, yeah, for sure. We'll give him some money and get him over here, but doesn't guarantee that he's going to play for us ever.
Well, also the fact with I mean, with Pierce Clarkson's probably similar 247 grade as Madden Iamaleava. And obviously, Nico was in his own separate stratosphere as
Right.
basically an year and a five-star. So Pierce Clarkson played at St. John Bosco, which is the same school that the Uiagalelei brothers played at. So
Good omen.
yeah. I typed in St. John Bosco to send me a picture of his saying, I'm like, I don't want to see this.
It's not what I meant, guys.
I had to type in Bellflower to figure this out. But the fact that I mean, obviously, it's not just this is a lot of who your dad is with Big Nick Iamaleava and Steve Clarkson. But like, if your father is like a quarterbacks coach who's worked with the likes of Matt Leinart and a bunch of other people back in the day, very much in Southern California, that might be able to help UCLA get the guys that USC and Oregon in Arizona State like don't want to help them in the Big Ten. Maybe this is kind of more of like, yeah, we'll bring your kid on. Just a bunch of daddy ball going on right now.
A whole lot of daddy ball and a lot of different versions of daddy ball, man. It's kind of crazy. I will say, like, when your dad is a quarterbacks coach, like, that's also something I kind of like in a quarterback recruit too, because like you look at what the issues Nico had last year at Tennessee and kind of why we soured on him pretty quickly. You look at it and it's kind of like, yeah, you're obviously talented. Like it's not a physical talent issue. It's just like it kind of looks like you don't really know how to play quarterback. Clarkson may not be as talented as either of the Iamaleava brothers, but like I guarantee you he probably knows how to play quarterback a little bit better.
He's probably more mechanically sound is probably the way
Yeah.
that I would say. And we've seen guys with a lot of talent like derail their career. Like it killed Blake Bortles. He got in his head and he couldn't be what he was at UCF for the Jaguars at all.
I mean, I think, yeah, like it's just, I think he needed to get out of Florida. I think he just had too much Florida man in him.
Oh man, I wonder what he's doing now. Well, we know what he's doing now.
He's ripping cigs, working construction. What are you talking about?
Yeah, he laid the concrete in the drywall of the new Donkey Kong Ride Epic Universe.
That's right.
Uh, I don't know if that thing's open to the public yet or whatnot, but I keep seeing things and I have to go now.
Oh, dude, 100%. Like it's Universal's a good time. That's where right before we left Atlanta to move out here, one of our last ventures was to Universal. We drove down there and we were like, I mean, it's gonna be a hell of a long trip here in a few months. Like we might as well get this out of the way and do it now. So it's a good time. And that was before, Super Mario World and all that stuff opened and before they redid the entire Jurassic Park thing. So yeah, it's a good time.
You went in June.
Oh yeah, we went in June, baby. It
I'm
was,
like,
we walked like 34 miles across 3 days in June. Yeah, I probably lost like 20 pounds.
it just all sweat.
Oh yeah,
Just
oh yeah, 100%. It was all water weight. Like yeah, not substantial weight loss. No.
just reminds me of a Theo Vaughn bitch. Like he just kept taking he just kept taking creatine. Just a very water weight person. Also,
Uh,
shout out, stop making AI videos of what Theo Vaughn looked as a baby. You're killing the environment, please.
I hate it so much. It's so bad.
But I guess to tie bow this with UCLA, I think we're both like, yeah, I think they're gonna make a bowl game. I think they'll be fun and fascinating. They're probably gonna go about 7-5.
Yeah, 100%. Like I think that it's like Deshaun Foster is doing a better job quicker than I thought he was going to be able to. I think we can both agree on that. Like we were both worried about it just because of the timing of the hire. It kind of felt like the last ditch effort to just get someone with ties to the program. And seems like he might actually be the right guy for the job. And like, am I like super excited to watch Nico at UCLA? Not really. But do I think it's good for the program to get a player of that caliber? Absolutely. Like I think that long term, that's something that can have ripple effects for sure.
I think anytime you bring in somebody to coach their alma mater, that's not necessarily like the Kirby Smarts
Right.
or like where it's that level, like or Mario Cristobal where it's that high profile. Like we're talking like Deshaun Foster or Thomas Hammock at Northern
Yeah.
Illinois. It's like
Yeah.
they feel the ethos of what's going on with their program. They really care. And you know the floor is going to be elevated. We don't know how high the ceiling is going to be. Maybe you beat Notre Dame. Maybe you embarrass Nebraska. Maybe you're just West Coast Wisconsin now. But like Deshaun Foster's been a lot better than like I think what we anticipated here. Just
Mhm.
because former star running back with the Bruins and the Carolina Panthers. What does he know? Apparently a lot more than a lot of other people coaching today.
No, 100%. And like I do think like it can be hit or miss to be clear, but like Deshaun Foster and Thomas Hammock specifically, like it's funny you mentioned those, but like those just seem like football guys. Like, and I think that's kind of the differentiating factor. Like, yes, you can be a former player and going back to your alma mater, but at the same time, like Deshaun Foster seems like the type of guy who was like, even when he was just a low level assistant, or even before that, like, dude was just out here grinding tape. Dude was just out here watching ball and like digesting ball. And so like he probably has his pulse more on the finger of UCLA and like what it takes to succeed there than we probably realized.
He's not great in front of the podium. He's good in the sidelines. This is false.
That's right. And hey, you know what? I'd rather have it that way, frankly.
I mean, could you imagine if he fronted the Who? We're going to move on to our last topic of the day with some just like Novocaine. With the Who, we are all wasted with the Who. Who are you and who is who in the wonderful world of college football? Obviously, it's May 15th for the 5:15. So, who is on the 5:15? Da-da-da-da-da.
This is Mike Norvell's crazy sad train ride after he started the season from hell for Florida State last year in Dublin, Ireland, baby.
He's dressed up like Jimmy and Quadrophenia, like just an absolute mod on the train. Just
100%. 100%.
that's really good. Like the lyrics is basically this guy sandwiched between two people on a train taking a bunch of Quaaludes just trying to get through and figure out what he likes anymore.
Mike Norvell. That's what I'm saying.
So for me, I've got Dylan Raiola. He's got to figure out who the hell he is.
Did you see that they're playing a game at Arrowhead?
No.
Yeah,
Are, are, are they
I
playing
think
Kansas there?
I no, I think like it's just like a neutral site game that they're playing at Arrowhead Stadium, and someone posted a video and it was like Dylan Raiola, Dylan Raiola coming out at Arrowhead Stadium, and it's the Nebraska team running out, but then they AI'd Patrick Mahomes in a Chiefs jersey running out of the tunnel.
He's gonna flame like Buffalo Bob, isn't he?
Oh yeah, 100%. I think we see it coming at this point.
And another guy who's on the 515, another guy who had a miserable year from last year. That'd be Mike Gundy,
Mhm.
getting headbutted by a cow, going 3-0 and then losing his final 9 games. He's in the 515 with Gator, and they're rocking out. Dude. He's
100%.
Gundy is banging on his shell like it's a Keith Moon drum kit.
I don't know if Mike Gundy is into narcotics, but if he was, I feel like it would be Quaaludes.
Mike Gundy definitely is a massive Roger Daltrey fan.
Oh, 100%.
He's handsome, good looking, and he can sing. And yeah.
But
Uh,
he prefers to model his behavior after Keith Moon.
Gator models himself after John Entwistle.
That's right.
Who won't get fooled again? Or who
You
will
said
you? Yes.
you said it was a Miami episode, and it is, baby. This is Mario Cristobal in Miami. I'm not getting fooled again, brother. We know what this is. It's 10-2. It's 9-3. We ain't going to the college football playoff, brother. Yeah, you know what? It might be the Mario Cristobal driving school after this year, especially if Penn State lives up to expectations.
I tip my hat to the new Constitution and take a knee. Yeah, I mean, I wonder if he would. I wonder if he could let out a Roger Daltrey yes scream. I'm not going to do that right here because I'll scare Boo Bear and all of my neighbors.
We got to keep Boo Bear at ease.
And I got two here. I've got Texas Tech. I won't get fooled again by Joey McGuire shaking babies and kissing hands.
Always. He's just a baby shaker. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'll believe it when I see it when they're playing in Arlington.
That's right.
And then I'm also going to throw Lane Kiffin in here for two reasons. Number one, he does kind of look like Roger Daltrey. Number two, I could definitely see him pissing on a monolith, like in the cover of Who's Next. And just I'm not going to get fooled again thinking that he's going to lead Ole Miss to the playoff. Just I won't get fooled again.
Unfortunately, it's true. I would love to see Lane Kiffin in the playoff, but the track record's not doing him any favors at this point.
No, it's not. What can you not explain with I can't explain?
I'm gonna go with South Carolina, and it's more of a me thing with South Carolina. Like I can't explain fully why but like I have just unabashed faith in this team, and that's probably gonna work out really poorly for me, much like NC State did last year. But like it starts with the Norris Sellers. It sort of goes to Shane Beamer from there. The defense is gonna be good. But it is South Carolina, and like things could go poorly. Like this could be very easily an 8-4 team, but I can't explain it. I'm just all in, man. They're going 11-1. They're winning the SEC.
I also have Lenora Sellers because I can't explain. Um, all in on this guy. This is my favorite song by The Who. It's the first one I got into. It's the guitar. Bah, 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 bah. If you speed that up and you drink a couple of bourbons and a cockaboose on the track in Columbia when it's hot as S, it starts to sound like Sandstorm.
Hell yes. Hell yes.
And I can't explain. I think it's love. Try to say it to you when I'm Tar Heel Blue. That's Bill Belichick and Jordan Hudson.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's fun.
Driving cars. It's
I have Bill Belichick coming shortly. Don't worry.
uh see the man who's hated behind blue eyes.
No one knows what it's like. Bill Belichick, man. No one knows what it's like behind blue eyes, man. Like I just feel like there's a lot of pain in this man and what he's going through right now. Like I don't think he realized what he signed up for. And it's a sad song. Like it sucks. And I feel like no, the song doesn't suck, but like it's just bad emotions, and I feel like that's just where Bill Belichick is as a human being right now.
The Who version of this song is being sung by Hugh Freeze, trying to develop self-awareness, even though it's not working. And the Limp Bizkit version is being sung by Matt Rule.
Of course it is. Of course.
The sad man behind Blue Eyes. Um, Matt Rule, if they did a college football version of Succession, he plays Kendall Roy.
Oh my God, yeah.
Roman Roy, Mike McDaniel.
Yes, correct.
uh, Brian Kelly plays Logan Roy. Connor Roy, that's Frank Reich.
Yeah, there we go.
And I don't know who Shiv is. Who would be
Shit would be like, that's a good question. Trying to think of someone who's just always dialed. Like, because that's kind of Shiv's deal. Just always dialed.
Sheila Ford Hamp. Let's do it.
Yes.
I was talking about this when we do the league episode. They did have their own spinoff series, which is Dirty Randy and Rafi,
Yeah, of
and they
course.
also did have a spinoff show series for the Succession with Greg Egg and Tom Omkamps.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh my God. Behind Blue Eyes. Let's go with Teenage Wasteland, better known as Baba O'Reilly.
Teenage Wasteland. At this point, I feel like Teenage Wasteland is probably going to end up being Auburn. Like, I'm souring on Auburn pretty quickly as we go through the offseason. Like, I can talk myself into it still, but I'm not quite there. And feels like these dudes are just wasting a year of their teenage years, like 18 and 19-year-olds who they had a great recruiting class. And I have a feeling they're not going to be in Auburn, Alabama for much longer.
I hate that and I love that because they're literally wasting 2 years of their life whenever they come to Athens and don't win and they hear that song.
Right.
This is the song that lets me know that every Georgia game, like that's when it starts. So my picks are Mark Richt and Kirby Smart
There
because
you go.
Mark Richt is like, hell yeah.
Yeah. And Kirby Smart's like, we play music before games.
Kirby Smart's like, if you don't like this song, you can get the hell off my football team.
Exactly.
Mark Richt's alarm clock, he wakes up, it's Bob O'Reilly, and he drinks a nice ice cold Coca-Cola to it.
Hell yes.
And Kirby Smart is telling all the reporters, out here in the fields, I fought for my meals. I'm like, no, you didn't. Are we not going to eat today? Let's go, boys.
I haven't eaten since 1993.
I haven't been inside since 93. And I don't think Canada's won a Stanley Cup since 93.
Correct. Yes. I don't even remember who it was, but it's been a
Uh,
minute.
I saw the Canadians got eliminated. I think the Leafs had a bad time.
Yeah, again, I'm not the biggest hockey fan in the world. I get most of my Toronto Maple Leafs update from our good mutual friend Ian McMillan just losing his mind on social media.
I guess my Leafs favorite team, the Winnipeg Jets, is still in it. I think that's about it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know what that series is. I think it's a competitive series with them and the Stars, but I don't
Yeah.
know.
Senators made it. I don't know if the Canucks had a good year or the Flames, and that's
I
about
think the
it.
Flames were like straight up ass. Like that's one of the few things I know.
Bring them back to Atlanta. Like
There we
we're
go. There
we're,
we
we're
go.
ready. Atlanta Flames, baby. And the last one we got here, who's on the Magic Bus?
Oh, it's Dan Lanning and the Oregon Ducks, baby. I don't care how much I pay, too much Magic Bus, baby. Like, I also looked at this like it is the Magic Bus because Oregon looks great getting off the bus. They got the unis, you got the Phil Knight money, you got everything cooking for you. What do you want, brother? You ain't won jack. You haven't won a damn thing. The only thing you've won is worst tattoo. Like that's all you've got at this point.
I also had Dan Lanning.
Yes.
Every day I get to you. My girl is only another mile away. Getting on the Magic Bus. As I was reading about this, I'm like, what's this? About I don't know. It
It's
doesn't
about
really matter.
Miss Frizzle, obviously.
Magic School Bus.
That's right.
So I read somewhere that like John Entwistle hated this song. He's like, you're making me play one note the whole time. You're denying me of the entire fretboard on bass to play this song. And then Pete Townshend's like, I love it because it's the Bo Diddley beat. Do 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 do. And I'm just like, get me off this bus. And the other guy I had on here was obviously Gus Malzahn, where he loves the song. Every day I get to the magic bus.
He just
Let's
made
go.
he's like the Gus but
Too much Gus bus. He just like we're gonna hit all the stops. We're going to Arby's, we're going to Wildflowers, and we're going to the game. Then we're going to
That's
go
right.
to Camping World afterwards.
Let's break it down, boys. I wonder how
You
Gus likes Tallahassee. I feel like he's made for Tallahassee.
I could see somebody like in the good place. They'd be like, "Oh my God, like what's going on?" And you got Gus Bus, you got Gus Malzahn singing on the Gus Bus about the magic bus. Like this can't be heaven. We're in the bad place.
We're in the bad place for sure.
Too much magic bus. This was episode 175 of False Start. You can follow me, John Bueller, on Twitter or the X at Bueller118. You can follow Cody Williams at the Sizzle20. You can follow the show at CFB False Start. Like, rate, listen, subscribe, review on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere there's podcasts. Give us a 5-star review. There's only four members of the Who, but they have more than 5 hits, and we would love a 5-star review. Don't give us a 4-star review. We won't get fooled again by that stuff.
Won't get fooled again. You're gonna have to remind me of the name because I've already forgotten it. But we
Yes.
got to shout out a new subscriber.
Yeah. Shout out to Alex Johns. Welcome to the starters.
Alex John. Yeah, we were talking pre-show, and I said, "Shouts to my boy Alex." And Bueller goes, "Do you know him?" I was like, "Oh no, I don't, but I appreciate him. I know him now. We're
Yeah.
the starters are friends."
The
And
starters are friends.
yeah,
Yes. We'll send you an email about where to get the tattoo.
that's right. Witchy wink right there.
The sun shines and people forget, and this is false start.